You're watching the Mortgage Busters show. My name is Greg, and you know that this show is all about paying the mortgage down at a fast rate of knots, paying it down to zero, but also preparing for retirement. Now, we've got a great show lined up today. We're with Dwayne Bistricki, who is the career advisor for Study Now Australia. Now, Dwayne, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Greg.
Now, tell me about what it is you do.
Well, basically, I help people transition careers or to help them move up that ladder, pretty much helping them pay that mortgage off quickly, to set up that nest egg by introducing them to qualifications that can, lead to better jobs, better paying jobs.
Fantastic. And you offer a lot of courses?
Yeah, well, we've actually got 30 to 40 on the scope at the moment, which is forever growing because, as part of being a career advisor is to make sure that people actually go into the stream that they want to. I don't want to force people or, tell people the wrong things and put them into wrong qualifications. That's why my scope's so big. I don't like selling generic business diplomas to people that don't own their own business. If you want to get into an office environment, you're much better off specialising in a field, say a diploma of HR, a diploma in business administration if you want to look up
Which HR is human resources.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So look, there's a big vacancy in the HR industry at the moment, more at your entry level as in payroll and stuff like that. But the scope for movement in HR is absolutely huge.
Fantastic. Now, you know that this is the Mortgage Busters show.
Yes.
And as in the preamble of the introduction to the show, we always say this, that it's all about paying the mortgage down at a fast rate of knots, but also preparing for retirement. But we're all aware of the fact now that people go through many career changes.
Yes.
And, there's a lot of choice.
There is.
Now, can you help us with that choice?
Of
And
course.
first of all, how do people progress from one career to the next?
Well, it all depends on, your personal journey in a sense. You could be, a mother and obviously you want to get back into the workforce, but you don't want to leave your child at home. Well, we've got the qualification for you. A diploma in early childhood education will allow you to open up your own daycare in the comfort of your own home. So you can have your son or your daughter there, as well as looking after a few other kids, and you're making money while staying at home with your family.
Gee, that's very convenient.
And then there's the construction worker who's been on project teams his whole life. He's gone from job to job to job to job. If he undertakes a diploma in project management, understands the management theories behind running a project, he can get a position there and obviously move up the ladder, maybe retire quicker if he really wants to.
Fantastic. That's what we love to talk about, retirement. But, if someone's in a sort of a dead end, so to speak, job where they're just not getting satisfaction and they want to retrain and they want to get ahead, can you help us with this?
Of course we can. We've got a lot of different qualifications that can help the person who is pickpacking in a warehouse move into, anywhere really. Anywhere. That's why we've got 30 jobs on scope, because it's primarily designed around
30 courses.
Sorry about that. Yeah, 30 courses on scope.
I know what I mean. What
Yeah, 30 up to 30
so there's
courses.
30 courses, 30 plus courses.
Yeah, and it's
fantastic.
It's forever expanding, because part of my job is to also, find these other diplomas that can help people.
Well, I know we're jumping from one topic to the next, but what's the most popular course?
We've got a lot of mothers getting into early childhood education just because of the ability for them to run it out of their own home. There's a big push for community work and counselling because times are getting hard. People need that extra shoulder to grieve all their grievances with.
So if there is a stay-at-home mum that's not really, she's just looking for something extra to do that can earn some more cash
Of course.
to pay the mortgage off.
Yep.
You can help us with this.
Of course I can. And the beauty is it's completely self-paced. If you commit, I think it's 10 hours a week, you should be able to knock it off in a year or just over.
10 hours a week in 1 year.
Yeah, and it's all online, so you
online.
can study with your child still in the house.
Fantastic.
You don't need to leave the home.
And is there 3-hour exams and all this sort of stuff?
No, it's all 100% online, except for some qualifications which do have work placement. early childhood is one that does have work placement to ensure that you meet the industry standards also. And I believe it's around the 200-hour mark. And once you completed that, you're fully accredited.
What does it cost? How does this happen?
That's the beauty. The government have realised that
Sorry to interrupt, but is it local? Is it federal?
it's federal.
Federal
It's
government.
It's
Okay.
federal government has understood that people are trying to better themselves, but they don't have access. So they've come up with a loan system where until a person's earning over $54,126, they don't pay a cent back.
That extra $6 makes a difference.
When you hit
So
that,
it's just over $1,000 a week.
once you're earning that amount,
Yeah.
they'll take 4% of your gross payment through tax. So you won't actually notice it. There'll be I think it's about $100 a week or $40 a week that's missing. If you go all the way to tax time and you don't meet that threshold, you'll get a bit of a surprise tax time. If you do hit it, you won't actually notice the repayment because you would have paid it off throughout the year.
So it's pretty much insignificant. If in terms of a payback of $40 per week, it's not even worth talking about.
It's not.
But for a career change, that's fantastic.
That's right, yeah. Look, there's no interest on the loan at all. There's just a 20% loading that's put on to access the loan.
So what's that mean?
It means that, let's say your qualification costs $15,000,
Right.
there'll be an extra, $3,000 on top.
Not a bad price to pay for a career change.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Until you meet that threshold, the 54,000, you won't pay a cent back.
What, indefinitely? For it just won't change until that happens?
The threshold gets reevaluated every year.
Right.
So it could go up or down depending on, the cost of living, the way the economy's going, but it's usually around that point.
Okay. Well, that's not hard to achieve, and they're
It's not when you look at the community work, the community service industry. You're looking at around your 60,000 entry level. So you're looking at probably paying that off, from anywhere between 5 to 7 years. You'll have that paid off, depending on how quickly you move up the ladder.
All right, we've got to go to a break, but
No
we'll
problem.
be back with the mortgage busters momentarily. You're watching the Mortgage Busters show. My name's Greg, and we're with Dwayne Bistricki at Study Now Australia. Now, Dwayne, all of a sudden, I don't know if you realise or not, but the Mortgage Busters Cup magically appeared.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Just to help us along the way.
Yeah.
But look, with this Study Now and these courses and the whole concept, it's a great opportunity for people to transition into a new career or advance in their existing career or a stay-at-home mum. They can do some great stuff.
Exactly. It's all catered around increasing, families' income. We're talking about that family who's got one working member because
Pay the mortgage down.
Yeah, pay the mortgage down. But we're talking about
exactly.
those families where there's only a single parent working because mum had to take time off to look after, the new arrival. Get involved in a diploma of early childhood.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's a second income.
Fantastic.
That person that guy who's on the ground floor making everything tick, get a qualification under your belt, move up that ladder.
And that can make a big difference for the average household.
Of course, we're talking some serious money.
Now, the Job Ready program. Can you
Yes.
tell us about that? The Job Ready program.
Yeah, what it's based around is to give people that are looking for that career change or for that extra step, we're trying to give them those 1-2%ers that really matter. We're talking about interview tips, how you handle yourself in an interview, your body language, little things that make the biggest of difference when we're going for jobs, because the job market out there is very, very competitive. And little things like how you write your resume makes a big, big difference between those callbacks and those interviews to getting the job.
So this training sounds to me like it can be quite sophisticated and can actually advance you in your career.
Yeah, of course. It's all tailored to the person and the kind of industry they're going into, because we do have workshops in our office where we go through extensive interview tips. We go through their resume. We go through your Facebook pages, yes, and your LinkedIn profiles to make sure that a boss looks through your Facebook and doesn't see anything that shouldn't be there.
Can you give us an example?
I don't think so.
Something positive.
Something.
What's something really good that would work for you in the Facebook arena?
Like maybe a family photo, something that shows that that you're an active person. Maybe you participate in sport or something like that.
Yeah.
Just something that makes
going to
people
advance you.
Makes people think that this guy looks like he has fun outside of work in terms of safe fun. We're not talking about nightclub photos and stuff like that could be really detrimental to finding a job.
Yeah, fantastic. So the Job Ready program, and has that always been part of this program, or is that a new concept? Or
it's about 6 months old.
Okay.
We've been running it for a while, and it has had some good reception. We're actually moving it online as well for the people that actually can't come into the office, that they've got access to videos of interviews. They've got resume templates there ready to go.
Yeah.
It should be online very, very shortly.
Fantastic. And what's the take up of this? How do we find out about these courses, and what is it advertised? It's the first I've heard of it.
In terms of the actual qualifications?
Well, just how do people get knowledge of how these things work and that they exist?
That's why I hope they come to me.
Yeah, of course. And you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, look, there really isn't much marketing in a sense, because most of our partners focus on the training as a whole. So they don't actually spend much money when it comes to advertising. So in a result, you've got these great training packages that people don't know about because all the money is going into delivering the right training. So that's where I try and come in and, help people realize what they can do with themselves, or what they can add to their current skills.
And what amazes me is that there's 30 plus courses.
Yeah.
Like, can you give us a bit of a spectrum? Like, what's the sort of from one extreme to the other?
We've got salon management and beauty therapy for people that want to work in day spas.
That's what I need.
Hairdresser.
I need that.
We've got that to counselling and community work, to, early childhood care. We've got the management. So you've got your HR, your business administration.
What's the most popular?
The most popular is really the more the healthcare industry. So our healthcare and childcare, because that's an industry that's really, really undergoing a lot of interest because of the jobs available. No longer do we have the single parent earner while the mum stays home. We don't have the pressures on life are getting so difficult that, sometimes people need that extra helping hand with a counsellor or a community service worker.
Yeah, of course.
The drugs and alcohol problem's huge in Australia.
Yeah.
Again, community work comes into it. So they're the kind of things that are really taking off because of the scope for jobs, and they're well-paying jobs.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Look, so how long has it been in existence? Like, besides the Job Ready program, how much longer has it been going on?
For quite a while. It's just people do not know about it.
Yeah.
It's just the reach is just not there.
And how do people find out about it? Other than yourself, like, it's a government initiative?
Yeah, it is a government initiative, but they haven't put much money into advertising either. It's more based on people going out and finding it, which is not really working.
Yeah, exactly.
for the average person.
I'm actually, like, I did the research for this program, but I'm amazed at the availability of the courses, the diversity of the courses, and the fact that they're there and there's a helping hand.
Yeah.
Because you can pay this back.
Exactly.
And it's minuscule compared to the results that it can generate.
We're talking about a sizable increase in your weekly income compared to at most we're talking at the very high spectrum. We're talking about 8% of your gross payments, and that's when you're earning over $100,000.
Fantastic.
So you're looking at paying off your qualification in 2 years if you're earning that much.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited by this. We've got to go to another break, but we'll come back, and with the Mortgage Buster Show, we'll be back with more. You're watching the Mortgage Buster Show. My name is Greg, and we're with Dwayne Bistricki from Study Now Australia. What a great concept.
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic. People can study, get to where they want to be in their chosen career, earn more money and pay off the mortgage at a
Yep.
fast rate of knots,
That's right.
instead of sitting at home twiddling thumbs like this,
Yeah.
and actually get actively involved in the workforce
Yep.
and pay that mortgage off.
Yeah. That's primarily why we're here. We're here to increase people's disposable income. The way you choose to dispose of that income, straight into your mortgage. You know,
Absolutely.
the quicker you pay that off, your weekly income just increases again.
Of course it does. Fantastic. And this is why I love this so much, because people want to get involved. They want job satisfaction. They want to advance in their careers. If they haven't, if they haven't got a career, they can choose one that excites them, and they can advance in that career, but also pay off the mortgage
That's right.
and create some sort of investment opportunity as well.
Yeah, that's right. So what we do is we actually like to have consultations with people, because there's a reason why they want a career change. There's a reason why they want advancement. So we want to get to the nuts and bolts on why they want that career change and what kind of factors are driving that career change. Because we don't want somebody to walk in and say, I want to work here, when after a conversation with us, they might want to work here. You know,
Can you give us an example?
I can give you an example.
Yeah.
I had a guy come in who wanted to, get his forklift license and get involved in the warehousing industry, and obviously climb the ladder that way. After a conversation and after really getting down to who he was inside, he ended up going into, community work, because he wanted to help people. He wanted to be a facilitator for people that are, struggling with addictions and stuff like that.
So from one extreme to the other.
Exactly.
It's really,
And that's
quite amazing.
That's the whole point. I want people to A, enjoy where they're working, and B, have the right qualifications and the right tools to, get the income that they deserve, and that they can actually, to maximise their income.
Fantastic. So how do you, using that example, how do you explore that concept? How do you dig deeper to find out, okay, I've got this idea to become a forklift driver, but how do I end up becoming a counsellor or whatever?
Yeah, well,
How do you investigate that?
We'll investigate what their motives are. So why do you want to become a forklift driver? Oh, to earn this much, earn that much, or, I really like driving a forklift. Okay, have you ever thought of anything else? What areas do you really think that you're good at? Where do you see yourself, long term? Everybody's focused on the short term gains, where really, if you look at the long term and you plan for the long term properly, the rewards out there are just inconceivably different.
Fantastic. And if you just dig deeper, a little bit deeper, you can find people's motivations.
Exactly.
And perceptions might be totally different.
Exactly. And look, everybody says money, money, money. But if you're happy where you are and you're making enough to pay off your mortgage, to have a bit of a disposable income, it's a lot more gratifying than working a job you don't like.
Fantastic. So are people, this is a general question, right? Are people dissatisfied in the workplace? Do you think, from your experience?
Look, a lot of people that I meet are disgruntled, and that's why they come, because they feel either undervalued, they feel that what they're doing really doesn't make a difference. It's not really stimulating them, because if you look at I'm going to sound like a bit of a nerd here, but if you look at
feel free.
if you look at Porter's values, you can see that the top one is self-actualization. That means that,
of course,
in theory, you'd work for free.
Wasn't that Maslow's hierarchy?
Maslow's hierarchy.
That's right.
I don't know. Yeah,
Maslow.
Maslow. Yeah,
let's stick with Maslow.
Self-actualization, where you'd actually work for free. We know nobody's going to do that, but in his perfect world.
Well, maybe Brad Pitt might do that, because,
maybe. He's got enough now.
Yeah, he's got enough, yeah.
But yeah, like if you work down that chain, you'll find that, really what you're getting paid isn't that high on the chain.
Correct.
So that's what I find, that people actually come in here because they're striving for something to fulfill them.
Amazing. So there's an opportunity here to get involved and pay the mortgage off, right? Prepare for retirement, do all the things that you can in a sophisticated way, manage through your finances and all that sort of stuff, but also build a career.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's just sensational.
Yeah. And look, it's very, very easy. After your consultation with us, and after we as a team, me and whoever comes in, as we decide where you think you should go, we'll actually put the steps in place, and with minimum fuss, we could have you potentially starting study that day.
So you're almost really a psychologist as well, in terms of career advising and making people think the right way and act the right way and behave the right way in terms of building a career.
You got to look at it. When you're working 40 hours plus a week. If you're not happy where you're working, almost half your week is spent somewhere you don't like. And that in turn is going to affect your whole personal life.
Of course.
So you have to pinpoint exactly where you want to go, and that's my job, to help you find where you want to go.
So someone, I don't know, I'm just thinking logically, how does this work? So if a person is working in a factory or 40 hours a week and they're 8 hours a day stuck in a day job, right?
Yeah.
How do they transition from one to the other? How does that physically happen?
Well, obviously they'd come to me and we'd have a conversation about where they see their career going, what kind of things that they see themselves doing. And then
do you see people after hours or during the day, or how does that work?
Usually 9:30 till about 6.
Okay.
In some circumstances, people are working full time. I understand that, so I might stay a bit later on a Monday or Tuesday,
right,
just so I can see them to tell them exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that they're getting everything they need out of it, and from there, we'll decide on the best course of action.
Fantastic. And so, okay, so I'm working in a job today in a factory or whatever. If I make that decision today, how could I be working in a totally fantastic, motivating industry that I'm loving, and what's the end game? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, it entirely depends on which kind of industry you see yourself going into, because there are different durations that the qualifications actually take. Some of them do have work placement involved. So if you decided to go into counselling, there's work placement involved where you have to spend about 200 hours in work placement.
Yeah, right.
So unfortunately, it's unpaid. But look,
hey, it's pretty good still. Yeah.
After that work placement, usually they'll take you on because you got to think of it. It's a 3-week trial you're
Fantastic.
doing. So they usually take you on, and there's your new job.
Fantastic. Look, Dwayne, this has been so enlightening, and I think it's just so motivating, and you can pay the mortgage at the same time.
Yeah.
People viewing this show, please visit our YouTube site. Dwayne, it's been a fantastic experience to have you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Hopefully we'll have you on again. You've been watching the Mortgage Buster Show. My name's Greg, and we'll see you next week.